Have you ever wondered what the oldest story in the world is? We're not talking about fairy tales or ancient myths you might have heard of. We're talking about a story so old it was written on clay tablets thousands of years ago, long before the Bible, before Homer's Odyssey. This is the Epic of Gilgamesh, and it's a story that asks the biggest questions we still ask today. What does it mean to be human? And how do we face the fact that our time here is limited? Let's travel back in time to the ancient Mesopotamian city of Uruk. Its king is Gilgamesh. He's 2/3 god, 1/3 man, and 100% trouble. He's incredibly strong, handsome, and frankly, a bit of a tyrant. He pushes his people to their limits, building massive walls and towers, and his arrogance is off the charts. The people of Uruk are suffering, so they cry out to the gods for help, and the gods listen. They decide Gilgamesh needs a challenger, an equal, someone to humble him. So they create Enkidu, a wild man raised by animals in the wilderness. He's the complete opposite of the civilized Gilgamesh. When Enkidu hears about Gilgamesh's tyranny, he travels to Uruk to confront him. What follows is an epic showdown. They wrestle, they fight, shaking the very foundations of the city. But neither can defeat the other. In their exhaustion, they see the strength in each other, and a powerful friendship is born. They become inseparable, like brothers. With his new best friend by his side, Gilgamesh's restless energy is channeled into adventure. Together they decide to journey to the cedar forest, to defeat a terrifying monster named Humbaba. This isn't just a quest for glory. It's a way for Gilgamesh to make a name for himself that will last forever. After a perilous journey and a fierce battle, they succeed, cutting down the sacred cedars and bringing Humbaba's head back to Uruk as a trophy. Their fame spreads across the world. The goddess of love, Ishtar, is so impressed she asks Gilgamesh to be her husband. But Gilgamesh, knowing Ishtar's history of discarding her lovers, rudely rejects her. Scorned and furious, Ishtar unleashes the bull of heaven to punish Uruk. But once again, the dynamic duo, Gilgamesh and Enkidu, manage to defeat the celestial beast. They've defied a monster, and now they've defied the gods themselves. But this act of defiance has a terrible price. The gods decree that one of the heroes must die, and it is Enkidu who falls ill. For 12 days he suffers, and Gilgamesh stays by his side. Helpless, Enkidu's death shatters Gilgamesh. For the first time, this powerful king, this part god, is confronted with the raw, brutal reality of death and loss. He's not just grieving his friend, he's terrified of his own mortality. He weeps for days, refusing to let Enkidu be buried, until he sees a maggot fall from his friend's nose. The finality of it hits him. This is the turning point. Gilgamesh abandons his kingdom, his riches, and his royal life. He dons animal skins and begins a desperate quest for the one thing he believes can save him: eternal life. He seeks out Utnapishtim, the only man to have survived a great flood and been granted immortality by the gods. His journey is long and grueling. He crosses deadly waters and faces scorpion men guarding the gates of the sun. He meets a wise alewife named Saduri, who tells him to give up his quest. She says, "Gilgamesh, Where are you wandering? The life that you seek you will never find. When the gods created man, they allotted to him death, but life they retained in their own keeping. Fill your belly with good things, day and night, night and day. Dance and be merry, for this is the task of mankind. But Gilgamesh refuses to listen. He finally reaches Utnapishtim, who tells him the story of the great flood and how he gained immortality. He challenges Gilgamesh. If you want to cheat death, first try to conquer sleep. Stay awake for 6 days and 7 nights. Gilgamesh, exhausted from his journey, immediately falls asleep. He fails the test. As a final gift, Utnapishtim tells him about a secret plant at the bottom of the sea that can restore youth. Gilgamesh dives deep and finds it, his hopes renewed. But on his journey home, he stops to bathe in a well, and a snake comes and steals the plant, shedding its skin and becoming young again. It's all gone. Gilgamesh is left with nothing. He returns to his city, Uruk, defeated and empty-handed. But as he looks upon the magnificent walls he once forced his people to build, he has an epiphany. He couldn't achieve personal immortality, but his story, his legacy, and the great city he built, these things would live on. He realizes that a person's legacy isn't found in living forever, but in the life they live, the things they create, and the people they love. The story ends not with Gilgamesh finding eternal life, but with him finding peace and acceptance. The Epic of Gilgamesh is more than just an adventure. It's a profound meditation on friendship, loss, and the human condition. It teaches us that our mortality is not a curse, but the very thing that gives our lives meaning. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into the world's oldest story, please like this video and subscribe for more tales from history and mythology. See you next time.